It was a happy marriage. They worked together and lived together. So as I often say, when you spend that much time.
She was Hollywood's golden girl, but behind the elegance was a life of heartbreak and sacrifice. Decades after her passing, Audrey Hepburn's son is finally setting the record straight. More than a style icon, Audrey was a survivor, enduring war, personal struggles, and turbulent love. Behind the glamour lay a story of resilience, heartbreak, and hidden pain. Now, for the first time, the truth is coming to light. What secrets did she carry? What really happened in her love life? And what were her final years truly like? Stay with us as we uncover the real Audrey Hepburn. Tragedy and childhood. Audrey Hepburn captivated the world with her elegance and grace. But behind the dazzling lights of Hollywood, she carried the wounds of a difficult past. From a privileged but turbulent childhood to personal struggles in love and family, the actress faced hardships that shaped her into the beloved humanitarian we all later admired. Born on May 4, 1929 in Brussels, Belgium, Audrey Kathleen Hepburn Rusten came from an aristocratic background. Her mother, Ella van Heemstra, was a Dutch baroness, a woman of strict discipline and strong opinions. Her father, Joseph Victor Anthony Rusten, was a British banker with a complicated past. Joseph Victor Anthony Rusten later added Hepburn to his surname, possibly referencing a noble lineage. Audrey's early years were marked by a sense of privilege, but that privilege came with its own challenges. Despite their wealth and status, the marriage between Ella and Joseph was far from happy. They had conflicting views on politics, society, and even parenting. Historical records indicate that Audrey Hepburn's parents attended events associated with the British Union of Fascists in the 1930s. This was a controversial political movement led by Oswald Mosley. Joseph, in particular, was drawn to far-right ideologies, and his sympathies extended to Nazi Germany. He and Ella even attended Nazi rallies in the lead-up to World War II. These associations would later haunt Audrey's mother, but at the time she believed she was acting in her family's best interest. However, the greatest trauma of Audrey's childhood came when her father abandoned the family in 1935. She was only 6 years old when Joseph left abruptly, cutting off contact with his wife and daughter. For Audrey, the loss was devastating. She later admitted that his departure left a deep emotional wound, one that she carried throughout her life. She longed for his love and approval even as an adult. Years later, she would track him down and attempt to reconnect, though their relationship never fully recovered. In the aftermath of her father's abandonment, Audrey's mother took her and her two half-brothers to the Netherlands. She believed it would be a safer place as tensions in Europe escalated. They settled in Arnhem, where Audrey was enrolled in a private school. It was here that she first discovered her love for ballet, immersing herself in dance as a way to escape her sadness. Dance became her sanctuary, offering her a sense of control in a world that felt increasingly unstable. By the late 1930s, as the threat of war loomed, Audrey's childhood took another turn. The Netherlands, despite its neutrality, would soon be drawn into the global conflict. Unbeknownst to the young girl, the war was about to change her life forever. Surviving World War II. Audrey Hepburn's life may have been filled with Hollywood glamour, but her early years were shaped by war, loss, and unimaginable hardship. Long before she became a beloved actress, she was a young girl struggling to survive under Nazi occupation. She endured hunger, fear, and constant danger. Her experiences during World War II likely influenced her deep compassion and later humanitarian efforts. In 1939, as the conflict escalated, her mother moved her to the Netherlands, believing the country would remain neutral. That hope was shattered in 1940 when German forces invaded. To protect her, Audrey's family had her assume the name Ella van Heemstra to avoid drawing attention to her British heritage. Despite the turmoil, Hepburn continued her ballet training at the Arnhem Conservatory under Winja Marova. She became a standout student, but as the war intensified, daily life became a struggle for survival. In 1942, tragedy struck when her uncle was executed in retaliation for resistance activities. Around the same time, her half-brother Ian was sent to a Nazi labor camp in Berlin, while her other half-brother Alex was forced into hiding. The war's brutality forced her family to flee to Velp, where they sought refuge with her grandfather. The war changed everything for Audrey. She saw young men executed in the streets and witnessed the deportation of Dutch Jews to concentration camps. She later recalled a haunting memory of a pale, blonde boy in an oversized coat stepping onto a train, his fate unknown. These experiences left a deep impact on her, fueling a lifelong commitment to humanitarian work. Although she was not a combatant, Audrey played a quiet role in the Dutch resistance. She danced in secret performances to fund the resistance. She volunteered at a hospital linked to the movement. Reports suggest she may have been involved in resistance efforts, including assisting downed Allied pilots. Her family even briefly sheltered a British paratrooper in their home. As the war dragged on, conditions in the Netherlands grew worse. Following the failed Operation Market Garden in 1944, food supplies dwindled, and the Dutch endured a harsh famine. Audrey and her family survived on little more than tulip bulbs and nettles. Malnutrition left her frail, and after the war, she suffered from severe health issues. These health issues included anemia and respiratory infections. Despite everything, Hepburn emerged from the war with an unshakable spirit. The resilience she developed during those dark years would stay with her for life. It would inspire her later humanitarian efforts and her ability to connect with audiences around the world. London and ballet. After surviving the horrors of World War II, Audrey Hepburn didn't just dream of a new life, she fought for it. With her family left in financial ruin, she moved to Amsterdam in 1945. Here, her passion for dance led her to study under the renowned Dutch ballet instructor Sonia Gaskell. Her elegant presence would one day captivate Hollywood. But at this stage, Hepburn was simply a determined young woman working tirelessly to turn her childhood love of ballet into a career. Her mother, once a baroness, was forced to take a job as a housekeeper to support the family, a stark contrast to their pre-war life of privilege. But Hepburn remained focused. Her first brush with the film industry came in 1948 when she appeared as an air stewardess in Dutch in 7 Lessons, a travel documentary. Though it was a small role, it marked the beginning of her journey from aspiring dancer to global icon. That same year, she made a bold decision. She moved to London after earning a scholarship to study at Ballet Rambert, a prestigious dance academy in Notting Hill. To support herself, she took on modeling gigs, adopting Hepburn as her sole surname. She dropped Ruston for a more streamlined identity. But even as she trained under world-class instructors, she faced a devastating truth. Her dreams of becoming a prima ballerina were out of reach. Years of wartime malnutrition had left her physically weakened. Her instructors gently told her that she lacked the stamina for the demanding career she envisioned. Rather than give up, Hepburn pivoted. She set her sights on acting and found work in musical theater. She started as a chorus girl in the London production of High Button Shoes at the Hippodrome. Her natural grace and striking beauty soon earned her roles in popular revues. These included Sauce Tartare, 1949, and Sauce Piquante, 1950. During this period, she also performed as a dancer in Summer Nights. This was an ambitious cabaret show at Ciro's London, one of the city's most prestigious nightclubs. Though she was still unknown to the world, these early performances gave Hepburn the stage presence and poise that would define her later screen roles. Early career, Audrey Hepburn didn't just step into the spotlight, she glided into it with the grace of a dancer and the charm of a born star. While performing in Sauce Piquante, her poise caught the attention of Ealing Studios casting director Margaret Harper Nelson. This was a fateful encounter that set her on the path to film stardom. Soon, she signed on as a freelance actress with the Associated British Picture Corporation, ABPC. She landed small roles in films like One Wild Oat, Laughter in Paradise, Young Wives' Tale, and The Lavender Hill Mob, all released in 1951. These appearances, though brief, gave her valuable screen experience and a growing presence in the industry. Despite her delicate features and natural elegance, Hepburn knew she had to refine her skills. She took speech lessons with renowned actor Felix Aylmer to develop a more commanding and polished voice. It was a move that would later prove essential when she transitioned to leading roles. In 1952, she landed her first significant supporting role in Secret People, a film directed by Thorold Dickinson. Portraying a young and gifted ballerina, Hepburn performed all of her own dance sequences. This was a testament to her dedication despite being told years earlier that she wouldn't make it as a professional dancer. This role showcased not only her physical grace, but also her growing ability to captivate audiences. That same year, she accepted a minor part in the bilingual film Monte Carlo Baby, which was shot in the glamorous French Riviera. Little did she know this project would change her life forever. While filming at the Hôtel de Paris in Monte Carlo, French novelist Colette happened to be staying at the hotel. Upon seeing Hepburn, Colette was so struck by her beauty and presence. She insisted the young actress take on the lead role in the Broadway adaptation of Gigi. Hepburn had never performed live theater with spoken dialogue, but she tackled the challenge head-on, receiving private coaching to prepare for the demanding role. When Gigi opened at the Fulton Theater on November 24, 1951, critics had mixed feelings about the stage adaptation itself. However, Hepburn's performance was undeniable. Life magazine called her a hit, while the New York Times praised her as the highlight of the production. Her fresh, captivating energy won over audiences, and she earned the Theatre World Award for her performance. The play ran for 219 performances before launching a nationwide tour in 1952. It traveled to major cities like Chicago, Detroit, and Los Angeles before concluding in San Francisco in 1953. By the time the curtains fell for the final time, Hollywood had already taken notice. Audrey Hepburn wasn't just another actress. She was a rising star on the brink of something extraordinary. Breakout roles. Before Audrey Hepburn became a Hollywood legend, she was just another young actress hoping for her big break. That moment came in 1953 with Roman Holiday, a film that catapulted her to worldwide fame and cemented her place as one of cinema's most beloved stars. But her journey to that iconic role was filled with unexpected turns and lucky encounters that changed the course of her career forever. In 1951, while still an emerging talent, Hepburn had completed her work on Secret People. Director Thorold Dickinson, impressed by her potential, filmed a screen test and sent it to William Wyler. Wyler was preparing to direct The Roman Holiday in Rome. Wyler had originally considered Elizabeth Taylor for the lead role of Princess Anne. This role was a sheltered European royal who experienced freedom for the first time with an American journalist played by Gregory Peck. However, after watching Hepburn's screen test, Wyler knew he had found his leading lady. "She had everything I was looking for," Wyler later recalled. "Charm, innocence, and talent. She was absolutely enchanting, and we said, 'That's the girl.'" Paramount executives quickly got on board, and Hepburn secured her first starring role. Initially, the studio planned to bill only Gregory Peck above the film's title, with Hepburn's name in a smaller font below. But Peck, recognizing her undeniable star power, insisted she receives equal billing. "You've got to change that," he told Wyler. "She'll be a big star, and I'll look like a big jerk." Roman Holiday became a critical and commercial triumph. Audiences fell in love with Hepburn's radiant screen presence. Critics praised her ability to balance the character's royal grace with youthful curiosity. The film's success earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress, along with a BAFTA and a Golden Globe. Almost overnight, Hepburn became Hollywood's newest sensation. Following her Oscar win, Hepburn signed a 7-picture contract with Paramount. This allowed her time to pursue stage work between films. In 1954, she starred in Sabrina, a romantic comedy directed by Billy Wilder. She played a chauffeur's daughter caught in a love triangle between two wealthy brothers. These brothers were portrayed by Humphrey Bogart and William Holden. Her performance earned her another Academy Award nomination and a BAFTA win. Hepburn's career continued to flourish, both on screen and on stage. That same year, she starred in the Broadway production of Ondine, where she met and fell in love with her co-star, Mel Ferrer. The two married in September 1954, marking the beginning of a new chapter in her personal life. From a young hopeful to an Academy Award-winning star, Audrey Hepburn's rise to fame was nothing short of extraordinary. With talent, grace, and a little bit of luck, she captivated the world and she was just getting started. Continuing success. Audrey Hepburn's career was filled with iconic moments that have left a lasting mark on film history. One of her most memorable roles was as Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's, 1961. This was a performance that cemented her status as a style and screen legend. Capote was vocal about preferring Monroe, but there is no confirmed statement where he later praised Hepburn's performance directly. The film's opening sequence, where Hepburn wears a stunning black dress by Givenchy, became an emblem of glamour and sophistication. It forever etched the little black dress into popular culture. Despite Hepburn's natural elegance, she revealed that playing the extroverted Holly was a challenge for her. This was because she considered herself more of an introvert. Nevertheless, her portrayal of the quirky New York socialite earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. The role is still regarded as one of the most defining in American cinema. It showcased Hepburn's ability to blend charm and vulnerability with effortless grace. In the same year, Hepburn also starred in The Children's Hour, 1961, a drama alongside Shirley MacLaine. The controversy was due to the theme of implied homosexuality, which was still a taboo subject in Hollywood at the time. Yet Hepburn's performance stood out. Critics praised her for bringing a soft sensitivity to her character. It made the film's challenging themes more accessible and poignant. Hepburn continued taking on major roles. In 1963, she starred alongside Cary Grant in Charade, a stylish comic thriller. The film was a hit, and Hepburn's chemistry with Grant was undeniable. The role earned her a third BAFTA award and a Golden Globe nomination, even despite some critics noting the film's lighthearted nature and her focus on comforting costumes. Still, Hepburn's natural charm shone through, earning her accolades and a legion of fans. Throughout the 1960s, Hepburn continued to explore different genres. In My Fair Lady, 1964, she tackled the role of Eliza Doolittle, a Cockney flower girl, in a performance that garnered critical acclaim. There was some behind-the-scenes drama. Hepburn's singing was dubbed by Marni Nixon, but the role earned Hepburn her place in the hearts of audiences and cemented her status as a versatile and beloved star. By the late 1970s and 1980s, Hepburn had reduced her acting commitments, preferring to focus on her family. She still took on occasional roles, like her part in Robin and Marian, 1976, alongside Sean Connery, which was praised for their on-screen chemistry. Her final film appearance came in Steven Spielberg's Always, 1989. Love and Loss. Audrey Hepburn's elegance on screen is legendary, but her off-screen life is just as captivating. Beyond her iconic roles in Breakfast at Tiffany's and Roman Holiday, Hepburn's personal life, filled with love, heartache, and resilience, offers a fascinating glimpse into the complexities of her world. Many remember Hepburn's whirlwind romance with Mel Ferrer and their eventual marriage in 1954. But her first major engagement was with British industrialist James Hansen. The two met during the filming of Roman Holiday, where Hepburn was a rising star. Their relationship seemed straight out of a fairy tale. Hepburn even went so far as to have a stunning wedding gown fitted by designer Zoe Fontana, but Hepburn, ever cautious of her emotions, called off the engagement. She cited her uncertainty about the future and a desire for deeper, more committed love. This decision set the tone for her future relationships. It seemed like she always sought profound connections rather than fleeting romances. In 1954, Hepburn found herself falling in love with Mel Ferrer, an American actor she met while working on the Broadway play Ondine. Their chemistry quickly transcended the stage, and by the end of the year they were married in a quiet Swiss ceremony. The two shared a son, Sean Hepburn Ferrer, in 1960. There were rumors of tensions in the marriage, but there is no widely accepted factual evidence that Ferrer was increasingly controlling. In 1968, after 14 years of marriage, Hepburn and Ferrer divorced, marking the end of what many considered a Hollywood power couple. But Hepburn's romantic journey didn't end there. In 1969, she married Italian psychiatrist Andrea Dotti. The couple moved to Rome and welcomed a son, Luca, in 1970. However, their marriage was also strained by Dotti's infidelity and the pressure of Hepburn's demanding career. Despite her joy at having another child, Hepburn's relationship with Dottie eventually faltered, and they divorced in 1982. Despite challenges, Hepburn stayed deeply devoted to her children. Both her sons, Sean and Luca, were central to her life, and even in her later years. Hepburn continued to devote herself to humanitarian work, leaving a lasting legacy as both an actress and a mother. Though her marriages may have ended in heartbreak, Audrey Hepburn's life was a testament to resilience, love, and the pursuit of meaningful connections. Her second chance. Audrey Hepburn's journey to finding lasting love was nothing short of extraordinary, especially in her later years. After enduring the ups and downs of 2 marriages, Hepburn's final romance brought her the peace she had longed for. In 1980, during a turbulent period in her marriage to Andrea Dottie, Hepburn met Robert Wolders. He was a Dutch businessman and actor. She met him thanks to a mutual friend. Though she was still married at the time, Wolders took a bold step and invited her out on their first encounter. But their meeting was postponed due to Hepburn's demanding schedule. It wasn't until later, when her relationship with Dottie had completely unraveled, that she allowed herself to explore the possibility of a new romance with Wolders. As their bond deepened, Hepburn was careful not to hurt her family, particularly her son Luca. When she confided in Dottie about her feelings for Wolders, his reaction was unexpectedly warm. He offered his blessings, recognizing Hepburn's vibrant spirit and even acknowledging that she deserved happiness. Despite the challenges, Hepburn and Wolders maintained a strong, enduring connection, though they never married. Instead, the couple shared a simple yet profound understanding of commitment. Hepburn often referred to Wolders as "my husband Rob," solidifying their relationship despite the lack of a formal ceremony. Their love lasted for over a decade, enduring through the pressures of Hepburn's career and health struggles. It was a love grounded in quiet affection. Wolders was a constant support in her life until her untimely death in 1993. In the years after her passing, Hepburn's sons carried on her legacy with honor. Sean Hepburn Ferrer, her eldest son, focused on philanthropic endeavors. He did this especially through the Audrey Hepburn Children's Fund and the Audrey Hepburn Society of UNICEF. His work helps continue his mother's mission to provide education and healthcare to children in need around the world. Meanwhile, Luca Dottie, her younger son, followed a different path by managing his mother's image and legacy. He even wrote a book, Audrey at Home, Memories of My Mother's Kitchen, sharing personal stories and recipes that capture Hepburn's love for family and food. Together, Sean and Luca oversee their mother's estate and were instrumental in the creation of the 2021 Audrey Hepburn exhibition. Her challenges and passions. Behind the elegance and glamour of Audrey Hepburn's Hollywood career lies a deeply personal story of struggle, resilience, and an unshakable love for others. Now, her son, Sean Ferrer Hepburn, is pulling back the curtain to reveal the woman behind the icon. Known for her roles in timeless films, Audrey Hepburn's real-life persona was surprisingly simple and grounded. In his book, Sean shares that his mother's favorite meals were often humble dishes like pasta with tomato sauce. Far from the high society image her roles suggested, Audrey led a modest life away from the cameras. She didn't live in a castle behind bars, Ferrer Hepburn notes. Instead, he recalls a mother who loved walking her dog, not gliding through life in limos or attending extravagant parties. But her life was not without pain. Audrey faced several miscarriages, with one loss occurring just before her pregnancy with Sean, almost to term. This experience, as described by Ferrer Hepburn, deeply affected her and created a bond between mother and son. When she finally had me, Sean explains, it was more than just the desire of having a child. It was also a healing from these experiences. Audrey herself spoke openly about the emotional toll these losses took on her, describing them as some of the hardest moments of her life. Despite these struggles, Audrey's impact on the world was profound, especially through her humanitarian work with UNICEF. She became a Goodwill ambassador in 1988, using her fame to draw attention to the suffering of children around the world. Having experienced hunger herself during World War II in the Nazi-occupied Netherlands, Audrey felt a deep connection to the plight of those in need. Her work took her to countries such as Ethiopia and Bangladesh, where she saw firsthand the difference that aid could make. "There is just no question that there is a moral obligation for those who have to give to those who have nothing," she often said. Even as Audrey battled a rare form of cancer in her final years, her commitment to UNICEF never wavered. She continued advocating for children's rights until her passing. She inspired a new generation to follow her example of compassion and selflessness. Through his book and advocacy, Sean Hepburn Ferrer hopes to share the story of his mother's legacy. Of course, not just as a film star, but as a woman of incredible strength and heart whose love for others transcended the screen. Final years. Audrey Hepburn's final days were defined by her unwavering grace, love from her closest circle, and an enduring sense of peace. This offered a reminder of the incredible woman she was both on and off the screen. In September 1992, after returning to Switzerland from Somalia, Hepburn began experiencing persistent abdominal pain. Medical tests initially offered no answers until early November. It was then that a laparoscopy revealed the devastating diagnosis of pseudomyxoma peritoni. This is a rare and aggressive cancer. By this time, the disease had already metastasized, covering her small intestine. Following the diagnosis, Hepburn faced a difficult battle, undergoing surgery and starting chemotherapy. Her condition continued to deteriorate. Hepburn had close family members with her. As the Christmas season neared, Hepburn longed to spend the holidays at home in Switzerland, but her fragile health made flying commercially impossible. That's when her dear friend, fashion designer Hubert de Givenchy, stepped in. He arranged for a private Gulfstream jet. It was filled with beautiful flowers and transported Hepburn from Los Angeles to her home in Tolochenaz, Switzerland. Hepburn later called it the most beautiful Christmas I ever had, a tender moment amidst her ongoing health battle. Once back in Switzerland, Hepburn spent her final days in hospice care at her home, where she was lovingly cared for by family and friends. Though her health was declining, she was occasionally well enough to take brief walks in her beloved garden, a sanctuary she cherished. But soon, she became confined to her bed, her energy fading. On the evening of January 20th, 1993, Audrey Hepburn passed away peacefully in her sleep at the age of 63. Her death marked the end of an era, but the world's admiration for her never wavered. Hepburn was posthumously honored for her humanitarian work at the 1993 Oscars. She was given the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award. This was a tribute to her enduring legacy. Gregory Peck, who had been a close friend, honored her memory by reading the poem Unending Love by Rabindranath Tagore at her funeral. Her service, held at the village church in Tolochenaz, was attended by her sons, former partners, and lifelong friends. These included Hubert de Givenchy, who had known Hepburn since they starred together in Roman Holiday. Flower tributes were sent by friends such as Elizabeth Taylor and the Dutch royal family. This was a testament to the far-reaching impact Hepburn had on the world. Hepburn's sons, Sean Ferrer and Luca Dotti, have since ensured that her legacy lives on. They maintain control over her public image and share her story with younger generations. In a moving interview, Sean reflected on how his mother's charm and relatability made her more than just an icon. She was a woman whose humanity resonated deeply with people. "She's the girl from across the landing who puts on a little black dress," he said. He emphasized that Hepburn's imperfections made her relatable and endlessly captivating. Her story continues to inspire, especially through the children's book Little Audrey's Daydream, co-authored by Sean. The book introduces young readers to Audrey Hepburn's resilience during World War II and her lifelong dedication to helping others. Through her story, children can find inspiration in her strength, kindness, and unwavering grace. Her legacy continues to shine, touching hearts across generations. As her sons reveal the truth behind the whispers, Audrey's story becomes more powerful than ever. Stay tuned for more untold stories of Hollywood's greatest icons. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.